Hi, and welcome to Everyday Living with Penny. My name is Penny Malone, and I'm your host. And we're going to be doing breakfast today. And I've got two different breakfast casseroles, and I'm going to be making my favorite breakfast of all. It's a scrambled egg sandwich with a twist. So we're going to get started with it's kind of a traditional breakfast casserole, but I'm going to be using Canadian bacon and regular bacon. So for this recipe, what we're going to do is I've got a 9x13 pan, and I've got some cooking spray. So I'm just going to spray the bottom of the pan real good. Make sure nothing sticks. Okay. Now I have got 6 English muffins. And what you do is just take a knife and you're going to coarsely chop these up. Don't cut your finger off. Okay, so once you've got that cut up, just put it down in your pan. You're going to do all 6 of these this way. And what we're going to do is once we get all of this in the pan, we'll mix our egg mixture up. All this snow we've been having makes me want to have a really good hot breakfast. And these are perfect. Very quick to make, simple, and not very much mess to clean up. As you've learned the last couple episodes, I don't like to clean up. Washing dishes is my least favorite thing to do. Okay, spread those out real even. Got one more. Okay. All right, so here we go with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Canadian bacon. I just got this out of the sandwich meat section. Pulled it out of the package and I just chopped it into pieces like this. So I'm going to stick these down in between the different pieces of English muffin. That way when we pour our egg mixture in, we won't have to worry about it settling on top. You don't have to do the whole thing, but just a few pieces here and there. Okay. So there's that. Then I'm going to take our bacon. I'm going to put a little bacon on top. Okay. All right, now. Okay, so I've got us a mixing bowl here. And for those of you who didn't know, I broke a couple of eggs this morning, so I hope I have enough eggs to go. You'll need 8 eggs, just crack them. I like using the farm fresh eggs, but these are store-bought, so they'll work just as fine. The farm fresh eggs seem to be bigger and have a more pronounced flavor. And of course, they're fresh too, so. And one thing I have learned that I have, of course, dropped pieces of shell in the mixture before, and the easiest way to get that out is with a spoon, like I just did right there, or a fork. That way you don't break your egg yolks or anything like that just yet. Six. 7. And there's 8 eggs. Let me just rinse my hands off. I always want to be careful with eggs because you can get salmonella. So set this back over here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my pepper, just probably about a teaspoon worth. And here's some salt, about a teaspoon worth. Okay, then we've got mustard powder. It's 1/4 teaspoon. And paprika. Of course, you can leave these out. You do not have to use these. Just gives it an extra little flavor. Okay. And I'm going to beat these up really good right quick. Okay, now I've got a cup of milk. Pour that in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of our bacon and the rest of our ham. Or Canadian bacon, actually. Okay, now, once you get this mixture mixed really well, we're going to pour it over this casserole dish. Now, before we bake it, we're going to let it set for about 10 minutes. That way, if you see in these little pieces of English muffins, you can see that they're really porous and have a lot of little cracks and crannies. That way, when you let it set, your egg mixture will run in there, and when it bakes, it'll actually bake into the bread. So, okay. Just pour it over. And see what I mean? So what we'll do, just make sure that every piece is down in that egg. Okay. All right, so got that ready. And I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. And I have 2 cups of cheddar cheese. You do not have to use all of it, or you can throw it all over the counter like I do. It's been my day, let me tell you. So just how much, just depends on how much you like on the top. I'm a cheese person, so I like quite a bit. Okay, so there's that. And like I said, we're going to let this set for about 10 minutes. And while we're letting this set, I'm going to go ahead and make the other breakfast casserole, and we'll put them in the oven at the same time. So I'll be back in just a minute.
Egan Construction in Gate City is a fully licensed electrical, industrial, commercial, and residential contractor whose services include maintenance on home or corporate offices, custom designed kitchen renovations, demolitions, insurance restorations due to water dryouts, wind damage, or fire, licensed interior designing and architectural drawings, full excavations. They're licensed in Virginia and Tennessee. That's Egan Construction, 345 Water Street in Gate City.
Welcome back, and I've got everything set out for our next breakfast casserole. In this one, you're going to have a package of crescent rolls. I went ahead and opened them because it's a disaster when I don't, and I jump and scream and all this stuff. So what you do is you pull it off in squares. This is the, like I said, the 8 count. So this is 2 crescent rolls, and you lay it in the bottom of your dish like this. And I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees. Well, here we go. And I have, for some reason, this one is very, very stretched out. Okay, so you just lay it in here. And side by side if you can, and just make sure that all the little holes and crevices are together. Okay. And this one came apart. We'll do that. Telling you, it's just not my day today. So here we've got that one right there. So as long as you've got the bottom covered, I mean, nobody's going to be looking at it, so it'll be okay. We'll just take this and slide it right there. But in theory, you're supposed to pull them off in squares and just line the bottom here. So what I'll do is I'll put this around the edges. So, see, you can't tell the difference. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take half of an onion and we're going to go over to the stove and we are going to fry our sausage. Come with me. Okay, so I've got my, you just chop it up in little pieces. Just fry it up, and as far as the onion, I like to do just thin petal slices. Of course, if you want it diced, you can do that too. Oh man. Okay, and then we just wait for this to heat up and fry. My onions are starting to caramelize. That's good. And even if you don't get the sausage completely done, it'll be okay because you're going to be baking it anyways. So it'll finish baking and finish cooking out in the oven. This was 1 pound of sausage and then half of an onion. So our onions are starting to get translucent. So we will head back over to the island. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put our sausage and onion on top of the croissants. Try not to pour too much of the grease out. Just spread your meat mixture. Look, I got too much in there. This sausage didn't have a lot of grease in it. That's good. So there we go. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to crack 6 more eggs. This is one of your, kind of your basic. Usually when we make them, or when I first started making these breakfast casseroles, I used bread. I would put butter in the bottom and then lay bread down. So this is kind of a different recipe with the croissants. It's very good. And of course, there is no wrong way. Whatever you like, whatever your family likes, I say go for it. All right, so there's 6 eggs. I'm going to wash my hands right quick. And just break your eggs up real good. You can use a whisk, or actually at home I have a little small whisk that I had bought from Hamburger Chef. It works really well too for eggs. Or chocolate milk if you're mixing chocolate milk. Okay, so there's your eggs. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. And I forgot to get the milk out. Put about a half cup of milk. Okay, once you've got that incorporated, just pour it over the sausage. And we got 2 cups of cheddar cheese here, and again, as little or as less amount of cheese as you want. My family, they are big cheese eaters, so of course, more the better, right? Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this one in the oven. I've got again, it's a 350-degree oven that I've preheated. We'll stick it in the middle rack here. And our other one has set, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the bottom oven. And you're gonna let them bake for 25 to 30 minutes. So while we're waiting on these to bake, we'll go ahead and make our scrambled egg sandwich with a twist. I'll be back in just a minute after I've got everything cleaned up. Okay, now we're going to make our scrambled egg sandwiches, and I'm going to turn this on between 5 and 6. So you don't want it too hot, but you want to. My eye's still hot from where I've done the sausage. We'll put some butter in there, and then I've got 2 eggs. This will make 2 sandwiches. So we're going to put just a little bit of milk, probably like 2 tablespoons. Salt and pepper, of course. Okay, beat these up real good. Again, you can use a whisk or you can use a fork. Make sure your yolk is mixed up really well. Okay, once your butter is melted, pour your mixture in, just like we're just making basic scrambled eggs right here. Or however you make your scrambled eggs is fine. And you don't want to put it on high heat because you'll get it done too fast and you'll burn them. And this is something that you cannot put on the stove and walk away from. You have got to stay right there with it. Just keep pulling it from the sides. Go just a little more. And once it gets to going, you want to turn it back down. Seems like I'm always in a hurry. Always in a hurry. Need to slow down and cook slow. As you can see, the eggs are starting to form. My mom and I used to make this a lot when I was growing up. Our surprise ingredient is dill. I know it sounds weird. I'm not talking about dill pickles or anything like that. I'm talking about the spice dill weed. And it's really good. Very simple, but very filling. Okay. So you don't want to overdo your eggs. Turn it back down. So these are done. This bright sheen that you see, that's the butter. So they are actually done. So even when you take them off the stove, if you leave them in the pan, they will continue to cook. So you want to get them out of the pan. Use my Pyrex. Happen to be handy here. So you kind of want to drain a little bit of that. You don't want the grease in there with it. There we go. Okay, so there's our eggs. Like I said, this is enough to make 2 sandwiches. So we're going to go back over to the island. All right, so got a little bit of mayonnaise here. Probably won't, we never measure this, so I'm going to kind of eyeball it. That's probably about maybe a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And of course, if you want more, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I've got mustard. And you want about a half a tablespoon of mustard. Now, I like mustard, so I sometimes use more. And then with the dill, you probably want a teaspoon at least. Again, we just eyeball this, so it's whatever you like. Some people like dill, some people don't, you know. Okay, this is kind of like an egg salad, but you don't use onions or pickle relish or anything like that. It's just mayonnaise, mustard, and a little bit of dill. And again, this is 2 eggs, and it will make 2 sandwiches. And of course, so here's our bread. And I also like to throw a piece of cheese on top. Any cheese you have in the refrigerator. Sometimes I like to keep Havarti or provolone or some kind of cheese like that on hand. Cheddar, American, whatever you want. And of course, if you want to salt and pepper it some more, you can. Apparently I got stingy with the eggs, so I have a little bit left over. So there's that. I make that a lot on Saturday mornings when I'm getting ready to work some around the house. That's real quick and simple. There you go. So we've just got a few more minutes left on our breakfast casseroles, and we'll get everything out and I'll have everything plated up for you so you can take one last look at it.
Egan Construction in Gate City is a fully licensed electrical, industrial, commercial, and residential contractor whose services include maintenance on home or corporate offices, custom designed kitchen renovations, demolitions, insurance restorations due to water dryouts, wind damage, or fire, licensed interior designing and architectural drawings, full excavations. They're licensed in Virginia and Tennessee. That's Egan Construction, 345 Water Street in Gate City.
I want to go ahead and get the Thomas or the bagel English muffin breakfast dish out because we don't want it to get too done because then it'll be hard. So there's that. In about 5 more minutes, we'll be able to get the other breakfast casserole out. All right, so here's our last breakfast casserole coming out of the oven. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. Woo. I'll set that one right there. Okay. So I've got our egg sandwiches, and I like fruit, bowl of fruit for breakfast. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a piece of this out, maybe. I like how it's real crunchy. There's that. And you could even bake these and put them in the freezer, or put them together and put them in the freezer and bake them later, however you want to do it. Or if you want to go ahead and do it in a muffin tin, that way you could put a couple in a plastic bag, freeze them. In the morning when you're getting ready to go to work, just grab one out, throw it in the microwave, and you've got a meal to go. So here is our croissant. Whoopsie. Oh my goodness. I have my oven mitt on far enough. Okay. So there we have it. Let's go this way. So here we've got our croissant breakfast sandwich with the onion and sausage, and then here is the Canadian bacon and regular bacon and the English muffins, and then here is our dill egg sandwiches. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have enjoyed all the meals that we have prepared. And if you need more recipes or would like to have these recipes, you can find me on Facebook at Everyday Living with Penny. Thank you and have a great day.